That's Obi. That's Kyle down there. And that right there is Mr. Brandon K, as I'm blocking my own face on purpose. And this is the Sports Den. Gentlemen, how the hell are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. I'm not an NFL running back, so I'm good.
We're going to be covering that. We're going to be covering a few things when it comes to football. Aaron Rodgers goes after Sean Payton for going after Nathaniel Hackett. We'll talk about that. Also, in this case, very important thing we need to discuss as well. It's Ocho Week in honor of the now 19 years since the movie Dodgeball came out. Holy crap on a stick. How long has it been? How has it been that long already? There is a litany of things that we're going to, that are basically on tap for the Ocho. 54 different sporting events. 31 of them are brand new to the Ocho that have never been done before. So we're going to break them down. I'm going to play some video on some of those guys.
Are they watching your React videos for some ideas?
Well, you know what? It's not going to be a full React. It's just going to be more of just clips of various things. The first one that I really think we need to start out on.
A hybrid version of it.
Yeah. This is not an official one in this case, though. But,
I meant did they watch any of our videos, our React videos, to add to their?
Dude, here's the weird thing. If you ever look at the numbers and the breakdown of where things are watched and and how long, it is the most fascinating thing to a numbers person, because you can find out in this case how long a 15-year-old kid in Thailand watched a video at 4:00 in the morning. Tunisia, Malaysia, Antarctica, Antarctica's on there. And it's like, well, somebody down at some station down in Antarctica decided to watch it in the middle of the day, and they stuck there for 3.5 minutes.
If they have internet, you got to do something down there if you're not like watching a test tube.
But the algorithm tells me these things.
The fact that my face was on display in Antarctica is insane.
Dude, the algorithm is so precise in so many ways.
Penguin could have seen me.
The Tyson Spinks video on the Combat Channel, I know for a fact that 60.9% of people that see it on screen click on it. I saw that number just earlier. 77 subscribers came from that fight on the Combat Channel. And it's because of the fact that, these are the numbers that just show up all the time. So I love it. But anyway, irrespective of that, and far more important than that, is the Ocho is kicking things off with something that apparently they did last year. Kyle, does this look familiar to you?
Oh, baby.
Oh, banana ball.
Yes. Bananas, the Savannah Bananas are back for ESPN The Ocho. Now, in this case here, there are a lot of different rules in this space. At any point, you were allowed to actually just run to first base. Just on a whim, you can go ahead and just do it. It's awesome.
All right. Yeah, it puts responsibility on the defense. It's like a lot of these rules are absurd and just really fun to watch. But
this, by the way, is a 3-pitch strikeout in 10.5 seconds. These games have a fixed 2-hour time limit.
The last out in the most recent Savannah Bananas game was made by a foul ball caught by a fan,
which is also part of that's why the fans are getting excited right here.
Oh,
because if the fans catch the ball, it's an automatic out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just these little things that just make it such an amazing, charismatic experience. Very Harlem Globetrotters versus Washington. So
kind of is, yeah.
The Party Animals is basically their biggest rival.
And but the thing about the thing that makes it better is that either team can win.
Yes.
And they encourage it. It's like, all right, which team is going to be better? Okay.
But like I said, this kind of stuff just makes it
rigged.
so much fun.
I have watched a lot of Savannah Banana clips. They are marvelous, and my favorite thing about them is they won't move. They won't go on tour.
Yeah, they won't.
And they won't sell out to large corporations. You have to buy their tickets at their price.
Mm-hmm.
They are really there to promote the love of the game. So I really look forward to seeing them, maybe catching an inning or two, because they are fun.
Yeah.
All their clips are great. They do great things.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do. I love it. It's like the guy basically bought that team for, granted, in our terms, a lot, but in terms of a team price, next to nothing.
Yeah.
And he decided to essentially just, all right, well, we could either try to go through the slog of joining it, of being a part of an independent league, dealing with the same old, or am I going to just completely revamp the whole thing, make it unique, I have the team. It's mine. I can do whatever the heck I want with it. And you know what? More power to the guy. I hope this continues on in its amazing form. And I'm honestly surprised there hasn't been TV networks trying to pick these guys up, pick these guys up, because pretty much all their games are just basically YouTube streamed.
Yeah, and the fact that they're on ESPN leading off the Ocho is a big move.
I think it's great.
The YouTube channel has 650,000 subscribers, which is clearly going to jump after this. But it's shown the quiet popularity of it because it feels very Harlem Globetrotters and just, I mean, it feels almost like independent league or minor league baseball with a little Harlem Globetrotter feel to it.
It's a creative show.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, there is a game going on, but it is like 50% showmanship.
Yeah. So it's
fantastic.
I love it. Moving on to the next thing here that we've got. This very simply is Bierstein holding.
Was that Robert Saleh?
Possibly.
I know a few people who probably rocked that.
That first guy, was that him?
Basically very simple. You just got to sit there and hold it for as long as you can.
Dude, this is what I do at Modell's or Dick's when I'm trying to feel how heavy a bat, like I'm trying to pick out the ounces. Like that ball guy, I thought that was solid for a second. I mean,
yeah, this one, look.
Pick up a brick. Why does it have to be a thing of beer? That's. I mean, it's about the spilling, but if it's about the spilling part too, then maybe. But like, I don't know. Pick up a rock. Pick up a brick. I don't know. Hold the baby out. See how long they. I don't know.
It's basically it's like, okay, this is like holding a weight out is actually a weightlifting competition thing. It's just rather than just having just a straight dumbbell, why don't we fill a beer stein up and see how long they hold it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's isometric. It's pure isometric.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with Brandon on this one. Like, I'd rather, I mean, it's cute because it's a beer stein, but like you said, it is a legit thing that we do see. I mean, I think even strongman competitions sometimes have an isometric move in it. But all right,
what's next? How many bags of groceries can we hold on our arms coming in with it from the van? I mean, is that the next one?
Maybe
for me a lot.
They're in the wife carrying race. Maybe they have wife carrying this year.
I mean, they did have a lot of the usual obscure stuff like the Tetris World Championship, Horseshoe League, things like that. Disc golf, which that football style of rugby style.
Disc golf should be a legit.
Disc golf or all
hold on. Now,
disc golf is legit.
Disc is there is a
I do not, but my friend.
Isn't there like a pro league for it?
There is. It's called the AUGL.
Yes.
No.
Now I'm
you're down here, so Kyle. So you and we are near some actually one of the disc golf courses near us, Kyle, is one of the best.
I got a couple friends who also play, and they've mentioned that to me. They keep trying to get me to go. I'm like, I'm going to send those things into the friggin' woods. It's like
yes, you will, but it's good. It's a fun time. I know we're watching Ultimate here, but I've played some actual disc golf, and that is a very good Saturday morning wake up routine.
And
it's one of those games like pickleball.
Yeah, you play too, Brandon?
Yeah, I've done back in high school with all the guys. We had during towards the end of the school year when it was kind of summer out on weekends after school, we had a dozen, 2 dozen different ultimate frisbee games down at the school on the football field. That's a good time.
I was more
also in gym during school. It was one of the activities you could do. Yeah, that's a good time. And disc golf, I've done on different vacations, like different resorts have them as part of activities. Yeah, and some of the courses for them can get pretty nice.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like, I wasn't like much of a disc golfer, but I did play ultimate in college.
Okay,
not well, but I did. I do know how to throw a frisbee. Usually.
Well, I mean, anyone can throw a frisbee. It's throwing it accurately is the question.
Look at Oscar Isaac. He could do anything.
I am accurate within around 20 to 25 feet.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Then it starts turning and veering off God knows where.
to shake off. That's nothing to shake off. That's pretty good.
Oh, that is good. So,
used to be able
Obi.
to throw it between my legs. Can't do that anymore because can't stretch anymore.
Yeah, who can?
It's like I try to
Obi.
do that, I ain't getting up for a little bit.
You ready for these two?
Does it involve
I'm ready for
dodgeball?
these two. Yes, I am absolutely. Here we go.
Kick
Oh,
golf.
look at that.
There's the game
Oh,
for
look
you.
at that.
That's
have
a good
two-
one.
I have two golf ones that are, that actually are just, honestly, just really clever. So in this case, it's real simple. Obviously, it's golf with kickball rules, if you want to call it that. Or just, but what's nice about all of these sports is the fact that they don't require a lot of money. They do. They know in this case, okay, you got a soccer ball and maybe just an odd little. You can set up any kind of golf course like that.
You can.
Yes, yeah. And if it's like a public course, then like we were talking before, like disc golf and ultimate, both of those you got. There's always a field you can play one of those on.
He's just making a basketball-sized hole.
Yeah. Well,
another thing too, not about the actual foot golf sport particularly, but the idea of the putting in this.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how great that would be for young kids practicing? Because obviously you got to emphasize hitting it on the side of your foot.
Yeah.
I would bet dollars to donuts that that's how this was a drill that some dude made.
But I would bring my team to a course and just stay on the green for 2 hours and just. I think but for the sport and I think it's really cool. I haven't participated in this. I don't know if in my area foot golf course particularly. I guess I can look it up. You never know what especially in our area. There's always something popping up.
Foot golf Australia.
Yeah,
I'm sure that people can set it up. Yeah,
that's going to be set it up. That's going to be 8 p.m. on Wednesday night, by the way. Or Thursday night, rather. So, Obi,
that interferes with Jets open. It's preseason. Ooh.
Sorry to go off there. Yeah, I'll be at Red Bull Arena for that anyway. So, this last one though, I got to tell you, I love this. I think this is such a cool idea. This is called flip golf, and what it is, it's basically lacrosse golf, where you just sit there and fling this thing, as far as you can.
It's like high-a-lie.
Yeah, that was my thought. The highlight is like they're whipping a little ball as fast as they can.
But what's funny about it is the fact that the stick itself is. That's you see that little putter stick there. That's literally the only one you have the entire way. So you get it relatively for cheap. It was featured on Shark Tank, and you build into the 18-hole golf course. Some of the old school golfers are not a big fan of this.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, but what's funny about it is this thing actually is done on regulation golf courses. You just play with like a lacrosse stick, and you just toss the ball 200 yards, 250 yards, or whatever it is, and then you just sit there with the short game. And as you can see, you kind of sit there and hold it like a hockey stick. It's like kind of like Happy Gilmore when he's putting.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those putters that people lean against their chests.
Yeah.
Right. Which they got rid of that from golf, the legality of it. But yeah, that's what it looks
I think honestly, I can't help but like this because again, you just sit there and just fling this ball 200 yards. Listen, as a kid, you can just plow this thing down the fairway. And I think with greater accuracy, I think you'll probably enjoy the experience a little more, just because of the fact that you don't have to sit there and worry. You're going to hook it, you're going to slice it. You just throw it.
Oh, you're going to hook it. Oh, you're going to hook it all right. It's just going to go even farther hooking. But I'm like how do you become professional?
Slam it into the ground in front of you because this barbaric. This is a hard pass.
Here's the thing about all these kind of sports, and this is actually something I've been thinking about a lot. Actually, it's like there's going to be some guy or two or three people, and I've been thinking about this because of pickleball, who are actually really good athletes, but didn't find a particular sport they liked that was regular, and all of a sudden they're going to be the greatest ever at the sport because there's only three people who had they picked a different sport could have made it. But instead they picked this sport, and then they become famous, and then more people follow it, and then you get 3 at a time, and 6 at a time, and next thing you know, you got 36 guys who can fling this thing 450 yards when the game was built around putting it 200.
But it's like, how do you become professional?
Well, like I said, the guys apparently.
You go to the driving range.
You go to a driving range and just get kicked out of the driving range for flinging the ball instead of hitting the ball.
It's funny, when I was looking at the videos for this, I found they appeared on Shark Tank with this, and it was surprising how well it was received, by like the Mark Cuban types.
Well, it's a unique thing, and being that it is a sport, it has potential to gain at least a cult following. Just look at pickleball. Just look at cornhole. Look at all those yard sports that people can just set up in their front yards. Spike ball has one now.
Yes.
It's just or like Polish frisbee or something like that. But it's Ultimate Frisbee has been around for at least some time. Like there was a major influx over like
Ultimate Frisbee's name through this mud, please.
But yet no, like Ultimate Frisbee and disc golf, they've been around for a little while. It's like, all right, it's like a Robin Williams routine at this point with some of these sports. I'm like, I'm gonna take my putter, glue the ball to it, and fling it down the course.
This is nothing but pretentious, bougie javelin throwing. And I'm not. No,
it would be more fun.
This is dumb.
Javelin.
I really don't like this.
This is old lacrosse players who decided they wanted to play golf.
Great. Because the golf courses need more Brads and Chads out there. That's okay. That's great.
I would listen. This would get me to a golf course. I will not play a 9-hole. I hate golf.
This couldn't get me further from a golf course.
I'd get hit by something on the golf course.
What do you yell? Do you still yell 4 when you fling this thing?
Duck.
Bro.
I bet you it does not travel as far as a well-struck or as fast as a well-struck golf ball.
I don't know. Have you ever seen lacrosse players? They can whip they can whip that thing.
This is for golfers with commitment issues.
But doesn't like honestly a baseball travels faster after it's hit than after, right?
Yes. If
so I'm thinking
but you're also
this is more of a throw, and then a golf ball swing is more of a
but you're throwing a baseball. You're not putting a baseball in a cup and launching it lacrosse style, because lacrosse shots are ridiculously fast.
Yes, they are. Right, yes.
But yeah,
as are hockey shots, which is I don't know. Either way, I
don't want to get hit.
Like you don't want to get hit anymore with this.
Having a frozen little plate that you put at the tee box.
Reverse sumo.
And just hit the hockey puck 300 yards down the course. I mean, what's next now?
Happy Gilmore drive competition.
Yeah,
I'd watch that.
Dude, some people do that now.
Yeah,
I do it. Golf courses, we're just getting lower.
$20 I can hit over the highway. Any takers?
There's a pass.
Yeah. I like a lot of the other ones. This one I would definitely kind of pass on. I'm like,
All right. How about grass drag racing?
So muddy snowmobile racing.
Basically, yeah. All right.
I mean,
that it's like sure. I'm sure that people enjoy it. It's like the same people that enjoy snowmobile racing or drag racing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Reach point A to point B in the fastest time. Yeah, it's competition.
All right. Yeah. It's kind of a very neutral.
It's niche of the niche.
Yeah.
So, as a guy who watches automobile racing, I don't find drag racing as fun as I watch things that have significant number of laps. So I'm gonna.
The races aren't long enough to get drunk in.
Well, see, the problem with racing nowadays is the fact that it's like 80% commercials and 20% content. Dude, it is insane how bad these things are. Like on NBC.
Oh yeah.
Because they cut away for like 3 or 4 minutes for commercials. Mm-hmm. Then what they'll do is they'll have, like, say where Obi is, they'll have the actual like race there while an ad is simultaneously going on. Where
picture in picture.
Yeah. So it's a picture in picture, but it's predominantly ad first. But it's
the ad's the main picture.
But what's funny is actually, I was looking at Twitter like the last couple of the races that were on Peacock and NBC, and in Amsterdam, what they do is they run straight through with no commercials. But a lot of the European countries, when NBC cuts away to a commercial, they will cut away to their own color commentators, talking picture in picture at that point. So you see the race and the color commentator. While we're cut away to like see a Verizon ad for the 78th time, they're doing it commercial free.
So F1, which is broadcasted by a British channel, you watch the 2-hour race, 3-hour race.
It's beautiful.
There's no commercials. It just goes right through. It's just like, but that's what that is what Europe is used to, right? Soccer in Europe, there's no time for a commercial. It's
halftime.
just halftime. That's it.
The United States has the highest percentage of commercials per hour versus any other country in the world.
No, you don't say.
I'm sure they did. Not even surprised.
Is it sky blue?
Yeah, waters. Well, it depends on where you are. All right, this one I feel like we've covered this before, haven't we?
Like speed. Oh.
And they try and climb up the thing.
No, they try to go over the top.
Oh, they try and get across.
This feels like a most extreme elimination challenge event. Brought to you by Red Bull.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like we've discussed this one previously.
Like pole vault.
Yeah, I know. I've seen this previously, and I imagine it was here.
Well, I think I need knee surgery after just watching this. Just how they land.
Yeah, it's a little. In this case, you got to get the full.
Sand or not.
What's that?
Sand or not.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, sand is not landing on your back.
The water's not much better either.
Water will get out of your way. That looks like it hurts.
Better than sand, and it's not at the height that they're falling into the water.
But that guy lands on the sandbags.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm like,
it should be a trampoline. Land on a trampoline and then just bounce off into the water.
I want an Ocho event with the Blob from Heavyweights.
Nice.
That would be an event I would watch.
Or how about just Blob from X-Men?
That works.
Yeah, just don't bring Will.i.am with him.
Yeah, well, this is a competition. It definitely requires body strength. It's like, all right, we have a bunch of pole vaulters who didn't make it. What can we do?
And long jumpers that want to be pole vaulters. So let's just smush them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is on the American Ninja.
That's what I was saying. It feels like something
in that realm. Yeah,
it feels like something from MXC
or American Gladiators back in the day.
Yes.
Which, by the way, UK is bringing back British Gladiators.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Walsh and his kid are doing it. But
apparently it's pretty good.
Oh, dude, British Gladiators is so much better than US Gladiators by far. Mm-hmm. It is a better experience, better, contestants, better, gladiators. The music is better. Like I said, the funny thing, if you ever watch American Gladiators, and I caught it on Pluto when we first got into that, you actually look into the audience, there are cardboard cutouts where people should be. In the UK, it's like 10 or 15,000 people, and everyone is just Jones to be there. And you feed off of that hardcore. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to try and do with it this time around, especially because it's Bradley Walsh. So, but what else do they have? They also have Wisconsin Auctioneers, Mullet Championship, Pinball.
Mullet Championship?
Yep, they got the Mullet Championship, followed by the Air Guitar Championship.
What?
Yeah, I don't have any video or images of that. But,
You want the video of the air Guitar Championship? I could give you one right now.
Well, yeah. Oh! Let's just put this picture up. I can't give you video necessarily, but I'll give you some hair.
Oh, good God!
That is beautiful.
It is
hair.
very, very. He takes care of his hair. Yes.
Yeah, that is that is a magnificent.
But you know what? Both the old and the young go at this.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, you know what, Emmett? You should never, at your age, be losing to a man like the other guy. Another guy, better hair
with the missing teeth. There you go. Kid needs to grow some teeth in, but
But
He's got the hair's already there.
If you notice, all these kids are like from Arkansas and stuff like that. You know, this kid's from Pocahontas, Arkansas.
Oh boy, that is the. I really hope the title trophy is named
Trailer
after Joe
Park
Dirt.
Children. That's the new series hitting Netflix.
I'm really
this
trying
summer.
to find.
All right, please, can we stop?
I think I've seen enough of the Ocho so
there.
far.
I'll give you one more for creativity.
Mercy.
Oh boy,
Mercy.
with the flag. Oh boy.
So that basically is the
That's
Ocho
a flag
this
code
time
violation right there.
around.
Yeah, I said, Mercy, you got me.
You know, it's funny.
Missing 41 states, but that's fine in those spots. It's all right.
I'll go back to that image instead. Does that make you feel
Sure.
better?
Well, I mean, maybe those textbooks down there, they probably left them out.
Relay pole vaulting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got cornholing, table tennis, pillow.
I see, like cornhole, table tennis, like those I'd say are legit, and then they just dig the scraps at the bottom of the barrel for some of these just to fill the 24-hour time slot.
They pick the barrel up, turn it upside down, and pick off the crap that's at the bottom that got stuck from the boardwalk.
Last year I did find last year I found the pogo sticking fascinating. There was a pogo stick competition.
That takes skill. Mullets don't take skill.
Here's the great thing about
the day.
It was like they were doing all these tricks and stuff, but it was like in a high school field, like Scott, our high school field with like maybe 3 bleachers, and they were half full. So I don't know how much money was on the line, and these dudes were getting hurt.
Oh my
These dudes were really getting hurt. And when they fell, they're 10, 15 feet in the air flipping, and then they land with their knee on the box. That will do you in.
Yeah, it would. That'll. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't see pogo on it this year, so I'm not sure why they didn't do it. Supposedly, you can burn like 600 calories.
That one didn't make the cut.
Yeah, sadly no.
But the mullet championship certainly did.
1:30 on Thursday morning. There you
go. Or whip it golf.
Slippery Stairs is back, so we've seen that one before. That's actually kind of fun.
Slippery, like I said, these feel like events for like one of those Japanese game shows.
Do they have bat racing? Do they have? I mean,
is
the guy holding the beer. Can he do bat racing instead?
That I don't see. Kickball. They got a kickball championship.
Why don't they just turn the sausage or president's race into an Ocho sport?
You know what? Really?
From like baseball.
Mascot racing.
There you go. Mascot racing.
That's kind of catching on.
You'll have a different theme each time.
That's kind of catching on too.
You know what? And it's like, you know what? If the Ocho's scraping the bottom of the barrel with this, I'd watch mascot racing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're scratching the bottom of the barrel on purpose, because there is enough Olympic sports that do not get daily, weekly, or even monthly coverage that you could do highlights of. Like literally, you could put this race that Katie Ledecky's winning. Has anyone else seen it other than the fact that she's won 2 more world titles? Did anyone actually see the events? You could have put that on the Ocho if you wanted to, because no one's seen the swim competition. But hey, if he was like, here's Katie Ledecky winning race 16 and 17 to have the most world championships ever, boop, put that right on.
I guess so, but it's like, it's like the in my mind, the Ocho is weird and unusual stuff, which does cover this. Yes, it's just there are better weird and unusual stuff that could probably be popped on rather than the mullet.
And I think I wanted to feel like it's a sport, right? Like I wanted to feel like
competition.
So especially when you say it's based on dodgeball. All right, now dodgeball, it's a fun game. But you can imagine what it would be like if elite athletes got into a mullet contest. Like, I don't know what the heck the difference between an elite athlete getting in a mullet contest and us getting in a mullet contest is. But if you said, I'm going to take elite athletes and make you play dodgeball against them, and they're not going to have any practice, they're going to beat the 4 of us anyway, because that's who they are. But let's let the Ocho go.
Yeah. But that's, like I said, that's what it's going to be this time around.
I will watch Banana Ball.
Oh, hell yeah.
I will absolutely watch that.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to.
You know what? I got to be honest. the whole Savannah Bananas banana ball, I'm not for it.
Okay.
I know I'm in the very, very major minority, kind of to put it that way. But I don't know. I don't know. I could really pass on it. It's not. I don't know.
As much as I think it's cool and great, it also feels like the kind of thing after I watch it this time on ESPN, if I watch it on the Ocho, I'm not going to watch like that. I could be done with it. Like I could see it be all right, now I've seen it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
it's
but there are some things I like about it.
I think it's there though. I think
it's like Calvin ball.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's Calvin. It's the Calvin ball of baseball.
Dude, yes. Oh my God, yes. Kids aren't going to get that reference. But one reference that speaking of number 8 though, one reference that they will get is Aaron Rodgers just went after Sean Payton.
Yes, he did.
Basically, to kind of say that I can get away with that.
Yeah, that was Aaron Rodgers on the sideline after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brandon, I know this is predominantly your thing right here. This is where you wanted to go with this.
Ron.
Yeah. No. So if you are following the football drama that is unfolding so far in this, the preseason games are about to start. I mean, we're really already steamrolling ahead with this season, and obviously, if you've been watching this channel and our shows, you guys know that there has been no one more pro Aaron Rodgers to the Jets and more positive about this than your boy over here. But this situation here was the absolute cherry on top for me to just get so hyped about this season, and just I'm so ready for Thursday with the I think it's the Hall of Fame game kicking off. So if you've been following Sean Payton, the new coach of the Denver Broncos, was interviewed and was basically criticizing the past Denver Broncos coaching regime, and calling them historically bad, and the whole basically it was the worst coaching job he's ever seen in any sport. And now that we have Nathaniel Hackett as our offensive coordinator and not head coach, that does make a difference. I think, and then obviously Aaron Rodgers, the whole famed relationship that those two have, and how much Aaron really has the back of Nathaniel Hackett. Comes back in an interview following that and says that basically, you keep my coach's name at your mouth, and it was basically weak for you to have to criticize a past coaching job, just in case something for you goes, Tish hits the fan. And it really, it was so great, because what had Aaron Rodgers been criticized in Green Bay? It was and a multitude of things, but one of them was just the whole disengagement from team, from coaching staff, management, the whole thing, and the whole kind of wanting to be there, and that whole idea. And there is nothing more, proving than those quotes, and just really, really backing up your offensive coordinator, who we know that he loves very much. And it's just, again, you throw it on top of everything that's going on in Jets camp. And it's just really, really positive stuff that I'm extremely excited for. And we brought up the clip of Will Smith and the famed Oscar quote with yelling at Chris Rock, and that was the energy that I got. And again, it hyped me up. And we play the Broncos in Week 5, and I would not be shocked. I mean, again, I know it's hard to kind of predict that far out and anything happens, but I would not be surprised if the Jets win by 2-3 touchdowns.
Where are they playing that game?
What's that?
Where are they playing that game?
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't. I really don't. I mean, they could play in Iowa, where they have the cornfield. They could play on that field.
Play in the cornfield.
Play in the cornfield. Yeah. But this and it was great specifically too is I was thinking about this. I don't know if we've had this even the Sanchez days past prior to that for sure.
The Sanchez.
The Sanchez. We haven't had in such a long time any type of real connection between the offensive coaching staff, the offensive game plan, the offensive, playbook that you run, the offensive system, and the offense themselves, the players, than having Aaron Rodgers right now. That connection, I think, is so important, and it's going to be so kind of on display because of, going back to now, that relationship with Nathaniel Hackett, that bridge between coaching staff, players, and executions, now with Aaron Rodgers, has never been better for a Jets quarterback situation. And, like I said, we kick off Thursday with the preseason. Obviously the preseason sometimes doesn't mean anything, sometimes does, depending what it is. But I expect to see Aaron play a good amount.
A few reps,
yeah. Just in the sense of getting the actual in-game chemistry with the teammates, guys like Garrett Wilson and some of the non-Packers that have made their way over to New York here too. But yeah, I'm so excited that I don't want to add the little caveat, but I just got to be the realist. I don't want to be set up for a Mets like situation. Because coming into the season, oh god,
we're going to talk trade deadline in a minute, but yeah.
But back to the Jets before I get all depressed about that. I'm just really, really, really excited for this season and hope it goes according to our plan as fans and to their plan, because I have them losing. I have them losing in the Super Bowl, but I mean, I'll take a Super Bowl loss any day of the week right now. So let's get this season going. Thursday, 8:00, about 8:10, probably kickoff, and I haven't had it in a while because we've been off season, but it's time to bust out the flag. It's just flag time.
Well, you know what though? I mean, it looks good. I mean, obviously, it looks good for him to stand up for his new OC in this case. But obviously, for Sean Payton, though, a respected, credible, one could argue Hall of Fame coach, despite the 1-year suspension and everything that happened there, somebody who comes in with a resume that already precedes him. This is not the way you wanted this to go. I think it was one of those things where he was trying to hype up his own fan base, but
they also play the Chiefs 2 out of the next 3 weeks after the Jets. So you might try to do your best into making that Jets game as easy as possible. So,
but also at the same time, I mean, at this point here, the backlash became so big because Aaron Rodgers jumped to Hackett's defense. So now as a result, smooth, relaxed, doesn't really ever get pissed off, very zen, very is now pissed off, and suddenly everybody's taking notice because it's not his MO. He's meditate in a yurt for 3 days, until basically something comes down on high that gives him a vision. And he's pissed off.
So I think, I'm more into this from the Sean Payton point of view. So first of all, I think everything that I'll just say Brandon's 100% right. As Brandon has said, he has been number one on the Rodgers train, and Rodgers is doing everything right if you're a Jets fan. So kudos to Rodgers. But I'm going to go to Sean Payton. I think with Sean Payton, he went in there, and this has zero to do with Nathaniel Hackett. This has to do with the mentality of the guys in those Denver uniforms. And what he is telling them is this last season, that garbage was not your fault. He's taking last season, externalizing it, and throwing it on Nathaniel Hackett. Whatever blowback Aaron Rodgers gives him is irrelevant to him. He was talking to the press, but talking to the team. And he came in, the first thing he did is he reprimanded Wilson and said, no, you're on the team, get in the locker room. And
you're
then
not having an office.
So he said, Wilson, get out of the office, you're on the team, you're not special. And then he went, and everybody else, it's not Wilson's fault that he had an office. That was Hackett's fault. That was the worst coaching I've ever seen. You guys, 22 starters and whatever, 80 guys, 52 guys on the team. It wasn't you. You were being led poorly. And so I think this is all about him talking to them through the press, because I do think Sean Payton is a very good coach. He's now, granted, he had Drew Brees, so we'll find out with Wilson what he can do. But I think that this is all about talking to that team through the press and relieving them of their burden.
Yeah, but I just think there are ways to do that are smarter, flat out, than the way he did it. Because, like I said, they play them week 5, and then they have the Chiefs 2 out of the next 3 weeks. Yeah, like I said, if I'm Sean Payton, again, that's weeks out, and you take, in the NFL, you take what's in front of you at a time. But you obviously going into it, you're trying to make that game as easy as possible, because the Chiefs 2 out of 3 weeks after that is brutal, even with a bye week thrown in there for Denver. That's brutal. So I just think there were smarter ways to have to essentially hype up your team. If that's what it was, then either that's an indictment on leadership of Russell Wilson straight up. Because obviously in Seattle, he didn't have to be the leader. And by the time it was really Russ's team, I mean, he had become a veteran, and it just Pete Carroll had still been there. But at the beginning of that of the era, it was the defense that was the leader of that. And I don't know. I mean, we hear.
I agree with you.
These stories of Russell and how. Yeah, he's a workout warrior and stuff like that. He's intense, but I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole launch of different things, but like that's got to be in question, because for you to have to do that again when you play a team with that coach very soon, essentially in the NFL season, like I said, with the Chiefs, that's just not smart.
Yeah, I think you are right about Russell Wilson. I think you are wrong about the fact that the Jets are going to be extra hyped. The Jets have so much on them starting now that by the time week 5 comes,
that's 2 months down the line.
That's 2 months. Like I don't see that. Like I think the Jets are going to have enough outside stuff that this locker room thing from X is not going to play into that game at all. That doesn't mean that they're not going to win by 2 touchdowns. They're not going to be a much better team than Denver. But I don't think it's, I think there's so much going to go on with the Jets and so much circus that is still happening with the Jets because this has become a Jets. The fact that this is a Jets story is kind of the proof of that, because this is really about what this guy's saying to his team through the media. It's got to be. And the fact that it's become a Jets story just shows that at week 5, it's irrelevant. I think it's going to be something else going on with New York Jetland. Like maybe they're 4-0. Like how's that playing out?
Well,
by the way,
they're playing.
And I do think you're right about Russell Wilson. There are issues with Wilson, and this is him coaching it.
By the way, Jalen Ramsey's out till December at least. Burrow's out for a couple weeks. I mean, you this is prime. I mean, we know the AFC is the loaded conference as opposed to the NFC, but I mean, going into the Jets really can go into that game. I don't know, like really in a good spot. I know they have probably the most brutal opening of a schedule, but
But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter that much about this, because again, 2 months down the line, they're playing on the road. They're playing in Denver for that one, by the way. So it's not like the home fans can get pissed off at that point. Will it be mentioned? Probably. Will it be like a major sticking point? Nah. If it was this week, oh yeah. But I mean,
no, because it's going to be brought up in the week leading up to that.
Yeah, but you know
Media
what?
is going to bring that up.
But they had 4 games under their belt at that point. They don't need this one for game 5 to hype them up.
That's my point. That was my point. They don't need the extra.
Exactly.
And for Sean Payton to do that when you're about to face the Chiefs 2 out of the next 3 weeks, to have to go into that game and already make it more difficult for yourself now is stupid.
Yeah,
and the Jets have so much on their plate, but going into that game, obviously, when you're only focused on the Broncos, that will be brought up.
But the flip side is, you're the Broncos, you're 3-1, 4-0, and you're like, yeah, we're a better team. Now that defense that was actually good last year wants to hand it to Hackett in the offense. So if you're going to go the mind game, you can play it both ways. I just don't. I feel like Scott and I are in agreement here that the circus that will be the New York Jets come week 5 of the season, this extra bit of circuitity is relatively irrelevant.
Well, hold on. For that, doesn't really make it doesn't sound so great. If I'm the defense, right? If I want to go after the offensive coordinator because we had a bad record last year. I mean, because we still play. That motivational bit it's not like
versus Aaron Rodgers really likes his coach and he's going to play extra hard this week, and the rest of the team's going to respond. I think they're both mind games that you coach into your team or you coach out. I just don't think. Again, I think the Jets news in week 5, and I hope for you that the Jets news in week 5 is bigger and more ruckus than this piece of data from the preseason that is obviously a coaching move. If this is big, it means the Jets are poor. That's the truth.
But that's also in this case also something they can keep in the utility belt if they need it. Because if the team is by that point 1-3 or 2-2, maybe you can not even 2-2, 1-3 or 0-4. Then you pull back to it. If you're 3-1 or 4-0, this is you are focused on what you did there. This is not an issue, but it's available for you if you need it as a PR boost.
Yeah, if the Jets have a good record and they're playing well going into that game, it'll be brought up. If they're not, if they have a bad record it won't be brought up.
Fair.
That I agree. That I think will be how that plays out. But come on, kick off. Just put the ball on the thing and kick it off now. Come on.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And then the week when injury comes around, it's Zach Wilson's team.
Can't wait for the conflict there, because it's going to be a circus.
Now, to bring Brandon down and make him depressed, final topic I think of the day:
fire sale.
Yeah,
it's not a fire sale. It's not fire.
I don't know how much do they get for Scherzer. Not much.
First off, I did again. The most Mets thing to happen is that they trade for an Acuna and it be the brother. That's like, no offense, trading for Thanasis.
They trade for Dom DiMaggio.
Hey,
really.
Dom had a good career of his own. Okay.
Okay. This is what I think about when every time you say fire sale, this is what I think about.
Well, they're unloading it. They went all in, and it didn't pan out, and now they're unloading everybody, or they're unloading the bigger names.
Hold on, if I'm the Mets, even right at this moment, with him trending upward, I'm keeping Verlander, keeping obviously Senga. He signed.
Yeah, Senga they're keeping.
Diaz, because he comes back. Obviously, it's still a separate issue. Those 3 pitchers, Alonso, McNeil, and Nimmo. Everybody else, Alvarez and
Lindor,
depending on a certain situation, Beatty. Everybody else, I'll drive him to JFK or LaGuardia myself. I really would, and I won't even charge him for gas. That'd be on me.
It's like,
my pleasure.
I don't know though, but they definitely feel like they're giving up on this season.
Of course, they're giving up on this season. They would be lucky to win 80 games.
Is Buck out of a job? Or well, actually, better yet, will Buck stay?
I give him another year because I think there are way too many issues that have just honestly just layered upon each other. That next year, some things there is no way that all of these guys are going to be in such an offensive slump all season. There are some of these.
We said that about the Yankees too,
Lindor. So everybody else can go. I believe these guys will have bounce back years. This whole pitching, the bullpen, dear God, come on. First off,
dear God, but they moved their best bullpen asset that's not on the injured list.
If you are giving up this year, which I think whether it's said or publicly or not, everyone is in agreement on. You trade David Robertson, who's a free agent at the end of the year. You can go get him afterwards and do what Yankees did with Chapman. You could do that. But I just think what is then the idea of going for it this year? What would that look like now?
Well, they're not.
They're not.
You would have to do so many things that it ruins the future.
But the thing is, it's like they're trading for people that aren't that. It's like they traded Robertson for essentially peanuts. They traded Scherzer for
I know a Catalan open carry permit. Yes, I got it. I mean,
and tax-free income or sales tax-free.
Yeah. That we still have to pay regardless.
Yep.
Look, here's the thing: Cohen put all his money in. It didn't work out, and this is where Cohen, the businessman's like, "All right, I want to take some money out so I can try again next." And that's what's happening. And
absolutely. Not denying that.
Right now, you are on doing every illegal sports channel you can, calling Japan directly. What are you doing? You're like, hello,
but
this is money. That's what you're doing.
But then there's the question of: did you listen to Verlander's press conference the other day? It's thinly veiled unhappiness with the moves.
I mean,
listen, he's no spring chicken either.
No, he's not.
Right.
Which is why I can understand why he's frustrated, because it's like he came in to basically win now, and it's like halfway through the season trade deadline they're going into rebuild mode already.
Does he have a no trade clause?
I believe so.
He probably does. Yeah.
By the way, but he'll waive that for the right team, which is fine.
Yeah. So it's like weird.
So that's the one guy who I would disagree with Brandon on.
But I said at the moment because he's trending upwards. That's the only reason I would, and because of obviously the contract situation. If you were a free agent at the end of the year and he's trending upwards, goodbye. I'm getting something for that.
Okay. So here's the thing: if Verlander wants to get traded, I'm trading Verlander to get good graces throughout other players. Hey, look. We'll sign you for a few years. We'll give you a good contract. If things go south, we'll get you out of here.
And you'll still have the contract.
And so that's really the conversation. You have that conversation with Verlander. He does see. Do you want to stick it out? Do you want to go? And if he says, "I'm going to go," you say, "Okay," but remember, we let you go under your, these auspicious traded you to I don't know,
million a year.
Yeah, traded you to somebody in the American League, so you didn't have to hit who's got a chance. Hey, you're back in Houston.
There's also a very forgotten about X factor in this, or I guess in the upcoming. Well, no, because the deadline has to come, and that's Starling Marte.
That deadline's tomorrow at 5 or 6 p.m.
Okay, yeah, we know Starling Marte has been injured
today. So
that's. I'm very unknown. I'm not sure what I'm doing with him.
Okay.
But if we want to get rid of Verlander, fine. Senga, Diaz, Alonso, McNeil, Nimmo, and the two kids. Everybody else, goodbye.
Well, I just saw this. They moved Canna to the Brewers.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, see,
great.
Off topic a little bit. We'll bring it back to the Mets in a sec. The Texas Rangers added another pitcher.
Yes, they did.
Jordan Montgomery, which is
Rangers are buying in.
They are.
Angels are buying in. They decided okay, we're going to take the risk and we're adding to it. So the Angels are absolutely buying in. The Dodgers are buying in for.
If you're a West team, you're basically buying in unless you're the A's.
The AL West is open, which also kind of surprises me.
The whole league is.
Yep. But Seattle just traded their closer, Paul Sewald, or however you pronounce his name, to the Diamondbacks, which is another team that's pushing to solidify a playoff run. So I'm surprised the Mariners made that movement, given they are well within range of a wild card spot, if not a push towards the top of the division. They're not there right now, but it's like they unloaded instead of trying to bring people in, so they might be sellers as well. We could definitely see the Cardinals are sellers. Chicago White Sox are selling.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah, basically all the Central Division teams.
All the teams that it's the easiest division in baseball, and they're all selling.
And they're all terrible.
Yep. Yeah, the worst division in baseball is all selling at the same
Central.
time. But the Cubs acquired one of the targets that I think the Yankees were looking at, Jeimer Candelario, third baseman. The Chicago Cubs just snagged him. Rays got Aaron Savali from the Guardians. True. Yep. The big right now, the biggest movers right now, biggest buyers would be the Angels. Angels and Rangers.
I think because
biggest buyers right now.
You know what? I think because they know.
I mean, it's all right. They're about 5, 6, 7 years too late on this whole experiment of going.
I don't know. The Angels snagged C.J. Cron and Randall Grichuk.
And imagine them with Verlander, with the 1-2 punch of Verlander Ohtani if they make the playoffs.
I'm not as confident.
I'm not really that confident that everything will come together, but that's a move that will help them.
Yes.
Because they got CJ Cron, a phenomenal first base hitter.
I'm gonna say something
for two minor leaguers.
If Billy Epler trades Verlander to the Angels, I want him gone so fast. No, but it's not. But listen. It is not because of the trading the Verlander. It is trading Verlander to the Angels. And what that means is that Billy Epler does not want to really – he doesn't have the general manager balls to go toe-to-toe with the better ones in this league. So he will lean on the Angels, an organization that he has the connections with, and he will do that. That would be it. That would be it for me.
No, I agree. It's like if you're gonna make a move, terrible. You make a move with the team that you just were at. That's not good. After you've done that a few times already. You've traded with the Angels once or twice already. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with you there. That's there's some funny business going on. But let's see.
It's not even funny. It's not even funny in terms of being sketchy, but that it's just you're leaning on comfort, and I don't want that in my as a general manager. And if I got Steve Cohen above him, I need someone that's in line with that mindset and that set of go get attitude. I can't lean on that comfort for a general manager. Considering my bigger issue, I'm done.
My bigger issue would be you send him over there, they make a good run, and then Ohtani decides to stay because Verlander's there another year. That's the
thing is the Angels did get another pitcher in Giolito from the White Sox, so they got their best pitcher. So it's like,
because
will the Angels keep making moves?
Now, hey, Texas and Los Angeles. I see your picture. I'm gonna raise you a picture, and that's what they're doing now.
Honestly, I'd rather see them.
They're fighting in the same division.
Yeah, no, I'd rather see that happen in a non-AL East division. That's not the Yankees. So it's like, all right, let them beat each other up. That's fine. Let them keep doing those. It's weird watching this from the outside.
Nah, a Verlander to the Angels trade, I would actually lose my mind. I would be in front of Citi Field tomorrow.
Still, it is bad enough that they are selling, even though it's selling what you feel are excess players. It's like they're still selling, and it's like
at a third of $1 billion this year they're selling.
Mm-hmm. It's like, it's weird. That's weird to see. And also on a side note,
I'm not even
Joe
mad though. I'm just numb. I'm not even mad.
Joe Kelly is back on the
Mets
Dodgers
fans nowadays.
Mr. Pouting Lip himself is back on the Dodgers.
Yeah, Joe Kelly.
I was surprised the Dodgers traded for him. I'm legit surprised about that with like all the circus that happened with that. Together. Yeah, I guess so. But
hey,
now I wonder if
that Kiss reunite. Like
will they make? In that case, will they make a move for Bellinger? just to deprive the Yankees of
Jock Peterson
going after him. Yeah, bring back Jock Peterson and Cody Bellinger.
Honestly, hey, you're joking on the Peterson one. That's not.
It's not a bad idea. No,
that's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
do something unprecedented and bring the whole squad back together years later.
Speaking of fire sales, the Cardinals, Toronto Blue Jays, I believe are finalizing a trade to get Jordan Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
So to shore up their bullpen.
Well, Aaron Hicks is on the IL again.
Aaron Hicks, yeah, Jordan. Yeah, look at the other Hicks, but the better Hicks. But I believe the Giants are finalizing a trade to get AJ Pollock.
Okay.
From the Seattle Mariners. Mariners are selling again. Even in a playoff push, they're selling.
Did we all see what what Aaron Boone said the other night?
Do I want to see that?
He went off on that.
I mean, so I if it were somebody that were, let's say, a rookie manager who's kind of, been around a little bit, and he's getting his first shot, and he said this, all right, whatever, it is what it is. But to be Aaron Boone, a baseball lifer, and for you to say that despite 18 strikeouts, we still had a pretty good night, is the most baseball way of saying, Miss Lincoln, how was the play? I mean, that's so... I don't know.
Outside of the strikeouts, I thought it was great.
Yeah. I thought it was great.
That tweet, Brandon Peony went off hardcore on that, but that tweet right there said everything.
But I'll just file this into the ever-growing dumpster fire that is why Aaron Boone needs to be fired into the damn sun.
Okay, but to me, this goes into the modern day baseball strikeouts don't matter and outs and out.
18.
Well, yes, strikeouts don't matter as much anymore because you'll hit it over the fence. But out of 27 outs, if 3/4 of your at bats end in strikeouts, that's you're past. You're
losing 7-0 after the first inning,
and they're losing at least 2-0 last I checked in the first inning.
Yeah.
No, I get
that. Now they're losing 2-1.
Oh, really?
You could also have a game where you get a third of your outs or strikeouts and hit, one home run every other of the at-bats.
Picture, that is Aaron Boone looking at that quote on the Jumbotron, being like, man, did I really say that?
I was trying to find a good picture for that, so I figured that works.
No, it works because that's basically how he manages all game. He doesn't.
Well, see, he's a corporate guy. That's why that's why.
Yeah, that's why Steinbrenner.
That's why it went him instead of Joe Girardi. Because Girardi fights his own team.
That's why Hal likes him because he won't give him problems.
Yes. George would have fired him and rehired him 6 times by now.
I don't think he would have rehired Boone. He would have fired and rehired Girardi.
Yeah, probably.
He would have fired and rehired Torrey at this point.
At this point, yeah. But no, it's like in terms of in terms of George Steinbrenner, I think Girardi would have been his higher fire guy. Boone would have maybe gotten a chance and then just be literally fired into the sun. Boone would have pissed him off far too much. And kind of like how he's pissing off the fans.
Let me ask you this question. How much longer of this do you think it's going to be before the chant starts to be sell the team?
I don't think they're going to chant sell the team. They'll boo harder. They'll basically give the New York cheer to kind of like what they did with Donaldson. They'll do it whenever Boone gets
Yankee fandom is too prideful to sell the team.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I'd rather have an individual owner than a trust.
Globoco.
Yeah, Globoco. Like it's like the days of the CBS, but yeah, no.
I honestly, there is not a single person alive. That's probably an exaggeration, but the number of people who are single owners who can afford the New York Yankees,
there's none.
Bobber already bought a team. Sorry,
I was gonna say it's like the only other one would be there's like only one other person and he owns the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
It is
otherwise, unless you want Jeff Bezos running the team, but no.
I mean, like if you wanted to single-handedly,
like
I mean,
I can't stand
4. Look, I can only think of 4 guys. It would be Bezos, Musk,
and
Buffett,
none of them are
and
good.
Gates.
And none of them.
So, look, the only single who went after the Washington football team, which is surprisingly enough one of the uber expensive franchises, was Bezos. So that's who you're looking at. It's really, are you going to sell it to? You're going to sell it to a money person if you sell it to a single organization.
Yeah.
And hope that that's a person who wants to win, not a person who wants to use it to make more money.
Bingo. And that's, you don't find that anymore.
And that's why Apple would be out of the picture.
Yeah.
Apple would be looking at
it. It's like with all the problems that George Steinbrenner was, he was, and it's like he was both. It's like he wanted to make money, but he still actually had a vested interest in the team.
He had an emotional fandom.
There you go. That's the word. Yes. Yeah. He was a baseball. He was a baseball fan that owned the team.
All right.
But he did have a lot of problems. Don't get me wrong. Like that the stretch in the 80s was goddamn awful for him.
I'm going to take a left turn on this because this is something I've been thinking about recently. A conversation I had in my house about NIL and how it's destroying sports. But the difference that is about NIL, everybody who's paying money to bring a player to a college football team is doing it so that team wins.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing it to make money because they're doing it to pay somebody to go to their team so that team wins.
Well,
is that going to be something that allows college sports, especially football, to get ahead of actual NFL football or college basketball to surpass the NBA, where sometimes people are doing things to make money?
College football.
Take a dive so we can draft somebody good.
College football in the South is a cult.
Not unless these the leagues siphoned sponsorship money into their contracts.
Yes,
that would be the only way.
Yeah. Little Timmy going to Alabama, but every time he goes on the field, he has to pray to Apple or something like that. Yeah, no.
Well, so the thing is, the guy who pays Timmy to go to Alabama is paying him not to make money. He's not paying him as an investment. He's paying him only to win, and that's the difference. NIL money is purely to win. There's nobody going, I'm only going to pay you $10,000 because if I only pay you 10, I still make 90.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's no. It's purely about the money that's being siphoned in from individuals to make. It's a different. There's a lot of wild west, a lot of good and a lot of bad in there. But it is something that struck me as there's no. I'm going to make a buck. I might make a buck because I have this guy working for me to advertise something if it's not just fake NIL money. But it's the money that's going to the person is purely going because I think that's the best quarterback I can buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One more question before we move on.
We'll wrap it up. We're actually planning to wrap it up soon. We're at 70 minutes, but go ahead.
Do we want to do the running back thing real quick too?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
That's fine.
No, Kyle,
well, the question I had is, who is winning the trade deadline so far?
Texas.
I mean, just based on name power, Texas or the Angels.
Okay. And who's the biggest loser?
The Mets are the biggest winner. They've got rid of all these high price guys.
No, I don't think they are.
We can reboot next year.
Surprisingly, I don't think they are.
Fine.
Who
a better question is, which fan base is the current winner of the trade deadline, and which fan base is the loser of the trade deadline?
You know who's actually, I would probably say, even bigger than Mets in some ways? The Yankees. Because
I think the Yankees are a bigger loser because they haven't done anything.
That's exactly it. And
they need to, but they aren't.
The Mets, here's the thing. The Mets go into every season with a reserved hope.
I mean, what issues do they have?
Braves don't even need to make moves, but yet they're still improving their team. So, they're managing their team well.
I do agree that Yankee fans, because there's like for Mets fans, it's like we went in high hopes got smashed, and now we're like being told, guess what? You can stop watching for the rest of the year. No need to hold your breath. We'll see you next year. But Yankee fans are still like, what's going on?
You can listen to Gary Kiffin best quotes on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like we'd rather have something than being left in this cloud of confusion.
You know, it'd be really funny if the Mets
still being stuck with Aaron Boone.
If the Yankees actually end up under 500, it'll be the first time in 30 years.
Yep,
and it's not far off right now.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Granted, yes, last place in the AL East is still better than first place in the AL Central, but that's beside the point.
But they're doing exactly what a lot of us, myself included, predicted after the All-Star break. But they didn't have what they had last year, which was an incredibly strong start. They were decent, but now that decent combined with the second half that they had last year is giving you a team that could, for the first time since I was in high school, Obi and I were in high school, that the Yankees will actually be under 500.
Wait a second. I'm not older than you. Stop that.
Oh, yeah. Well,
stop that.
Dude, the last time the Yankees were under 500, I believe, was 1992.
Yep. It was either 92 or 93. I forget.
No,
it was
93 they were okay because that was the year I graduated high school, and they were second place, like right to the end. Okay. That's what Jim Abbott.
Yeah, 93, 94, and 95, they were right at the cusp.
Yes, but they were over 500 the whole way.
Yep.
So,
yep, and 92, I think, wasn't that the year that they basically booted Steinbrenner for a little bit? Yeah. And then they actually built a team, and like the top players that they had in the farm system all came up in 94, 95, and then the
core five
plowed the way. Yep, core. Yeah, the core.
I call it core five because Bernie Williams.
Yes. No,
1992 was a 469 win percentage. After that, every single year. So now 30 straight years they have had a winning record.
Which is insane.
But I don't know what's going to happen.
Yep. All good things, unfortunately, probably would come to an end as much to our chagrin.
How many years has Hal been the owner?
2009.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like it was Hank and Hal for a while, and then Hal essentially took it over fully.
So when did Hank and Hal? Is that 2009 or is
I think
that?
So.
Yeah.
Because King George, he stopped he stopped in like the mid 2000s and then eventually passed away, and then his sons basically ran it for a bit.
So they've done a decade plus of above 500.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean.
Oh yeah. It's just.
I mean, how plus of no World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I will say 2017 they got cheated out of it, but
yeah, I mean, get over yourselves, no World Series. All right? 10 plus years in a row of the Yankees didn't win a World Series in the 80s either. I was there.
Yeah, I know.
Not Mattingly.
It unfortunately happens.
They're on track to actually have the longest streak between World Series appearances.
Okay, well, again,
teams that have had World Series appearances.
But all right. Anyway, you had
it could be worse.
You wanted to do, sir, right?
Yep.
Yes, I do. I do have a theory, and I had been thinking about this today. And so we see a lot of these running backs now, these high-profile running backs, not being happy with certain contract situations, with the way teams are perceiving them, Jim Irsay. And I have this thought that now that we are kind of a few years removed from the Ezekiel Elliott and who am I missing? I just had his name on my mind, and I'm missing Zeke Elliott and Le'Veon Bell situation. Mm-hmm. How could I forget Le'Veon Bell? Players saw that, and they also saw the way the Cowboys handled the DeMarco Murray situation. Mm-hmm. And now that this new cycle of contracts and the running backs are starting to come due, these problems are starting to arise. And I mean, that could be totally way off, but I don't know. I thought I saw that 2 and 2 together and thought it made sense. Because I mean, what are they all clamoring for? Is that the long-term security while being paid fairly? I mean, that concept alone is not insane, but then at the very end, you got to look at the landscape of NFL payroll and how teams prioritize positions over others. That was just my thought. I just thought the DeMarco Murray situation with the Cowboys, and then Zeke and Le'Veon Bell's individual situations with their contracts, I thought maybe has now, impacted the current running back world.
Probably.
So my theory about the running back is if we had good, understandable numbers for offensive line blocking, we would not be like, oh, the running backs are getting the shaft here. That's my opinion. Granted, I've been old line since my time. And, and part of the problem, of course, is ESPN, who broadcasts at an 8th grade level, doesn't have anybody really telling these things about what's happening in the game. I mean, look, all due respect, Nick was good. Nick had some insight. He got cut off when he was leaving the air. So it's like, yeah, we're going to talk about the guys who carry the ball because we can see it. We can see numbers. And the owners are going, your backups runs a 40 in 0.1 second slower than you. And the offensive line, they're going to get to the same hole before it gets filled as you do. So I'm going to give him the ball and save me a bunch of money. So we need comprehensive, clear offensive line stats, and then we'll be less.
Yeah, but like at the core of what they're doing, it's hard to numerically quantify it. Other than like even a block is hard to what is a one block, what is a second block? It's hard. It's hard.
Did they block the right guy? Did they do it without getting called? You're right. It's incredible. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that is the problem.
Yeah, but that's more position analysis than actual stats.
You are 100% accurate. That it is very hard. But if you can quantify it, then you can start to say, oh, this is why running backs are not as valuable as they think they are, because the offensive line is doing X, Y, and Z, and this player and that player. Although Zach Martin's getting the shaft right now too. So
yeah, but he had been paid.
He had been paid.
He paid like almost skill position money relative to other guys.
Still a top 10 paid guy at his position. So
he's the last one to talk, to be honest with them.
Never going to begrudge a guy for asking for more money. If he gets it or not, it's another story. And he's one of those guys who's at that particular age where I'll just hold out in camp, and then we'll reach an agreement where I don't pay my fines because I'm old and I'm good.
Fair.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the Zach Martin result. The big question to me, though, we are on running backs, is what kind of guts does Jacobs have? And what's going to happen with JT? Because apparently he went in with a back injury. The Colts called him on it, and they said, no, I never said my back hurt. So now he's going to play 3 practices, not hurt, and all of a sudden his hammy's going to hurt.
No. If I'm Jonathan Taylor, you're not seeing me all season.
That team's in a rebuild anyway.
Why the hell would I play?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The Colts don't care. Exactly what Scott said. As a matter of fact, it benefits the Colts not to have him on the field so that their rookie quarterback has to learn, and then they can pick a wide receiver or offensive lineman or whatever else might be at the top of the draft, and not a quarterback, because if their quarterback works out and if they think it's the quarterback problem, they draft a quarterback. So maybe he gets traded.
Yeah, but the reason – but hold on. No. But the reason for Taylor to sit out and the reason for the Colts to have him out are 2 completely different reasons. I mean, they're 2 different things. It's not – they're not in agreement of why they're doing it. This was not –
right, but if Taylor sits out, he doesn't get paid. And it's not like Taylor has made the kind of money where like a quarterback. Like Taylor probably needs at least one more, even if it's not a big payday, just in general for his life, unless he already, and I don't know the man at all, so all due respect and to JT, if he has something set up, great. But if he doesn't, he probably, for life purposes, could use another, even if it's a small, in air quotes for anyone who's only listening, payday, relative, to the rest of the NFL. So I'm not sure if sitting out gets him that because he doesn't get paid this season, and then he runs into the same thing as next season. And is this year he's getting the first year bonus or no? Or next year he gets first round pay, rookie extension.
I don't know.
Well, he's on the last year of the deal, and it seems to be that it's just going to play out.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where he's. I mean, as he looks at the landscape, where is he going to get the kind of money he wants, whether he plays or he doesn't play? That's problematic for him. For all the running backs, right? I mean, when I do say it is problematic if you're a running back, you're not going to get the money you thought you were going to make by having an NFL career when you were growing up and said, I wanted to be in the NFL and not the NBA.
And it's a darn shame because running backs are still very important. It is a high damage position.
Yes.
More than it was 30 years ago because players are just physically bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm Jonathan Taylor, you know where I'd want to go? Jacksonville.
The Yankees.
Yeah. I was going to say Tahiti.
It's like running backs might as well play baseball.
Yeah.
Go to Jacksonville. Try and get behind Trevor Lawrence.
Think about it right now. You're a fast dude in your high school. You play baseball and football today. And you're like, ooh, baseball has literally said we want better athletes. They've made stolen bases a thing. And football's not valuing my speed at running back. Let me work on hitting. See what baseball looks like in 5 to 10 years. But
then you're risking not as strong contracts over the grind of minor leagues. And then that's still not a guarantee for any type of major league money. So
I will say this: if you think you can be a professional athlete, you think you can be a professional athlete. You think you can like that. That's thought number one.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what sport that these running backs should go to?
Like
throwing golf.
There it is.
Yeah, do it. Go ahead.
I'm just a pickleball.
That's where they should go.
Stupid.
You said you had a comment, and then as soon as it started coming out of your mouth, I was like, yeah.
Or you know what? Just esports.
Lacrosse golf. Here it comes.
Madden. There you go.
Start growing your damn hair out. Getting that mullet game.
The running back should go to the Ocho.
You know what? I don't care. I'm going to DVR the mullet championships because I have to. I swear, I'm just going to do it. I don't give a shit.
They should.
It all comes full circle.
They should measure the length of the hair in the morning, and then at night come back and see if it grew any longer. See that should be the real test.
Well,
just all day, just trying. Hey, you know what? At least at that point, you can at least engage viewers and be like, man, oh shit, I got to get back to the TV tonight to see if that hair grew, bro. That would at least bring some excitement and some anticipation to it instead of just looking at a strand of hair, looking at a raccoon tail coming off someone's skull. No thanks.
Well, see,
not for me.
You're too young to remember when rat tails were popular. I fucking hated those things, man. They were terrible.
Yeah, those things were awful.
Oh god, because I remember there was an Irish kid named Seamus O'Halloran. By the way, can you tell he's Irish? Obi better than him. He not only did he have the rat tail, but he also had the Air Jordan logo shaved into his hair. Because that was the thing back in the early. This is like 90.
Kids still get that too.
But here's the thing. Hair, believe it or not, statistically speaking, grows on average about 6 inches per year. So if you look at the length of those mullets and the yearly dedication to having that. That is not a whim, a spur of the moment type of thing. That is something that takes 2, 3, 4 years or even longer to
It is
really
a concentrated effort.
Yeah, it's a concentrated effort to make sure that you have the the proper mullet to be worthy of basically your family reunion / speed dating area that you're in.
All right.
Okay, on that front.
Yeah, you gotta let us go. You got stuff to do.
Yeah, I know. I got things to do and people to see, or things to see, and yeah. Anyway, all right, gents. Thanks as always. I appreciate it. You guys just straight up rocked, man. I love it. Brandon, you know what? You got Aaron Rodgers premiere. It may only be preseason. It may not count in the standings, but you know what? Win is a win. Football is football, especially when you've suffered in misery for so long. This is exactly what I said last year when the Giants won the preseason games. It didn't matter.
It's just that next step for the season to really start. That's it, and that's it. So
I'm excited for you. May the team do well. May Aaron Rodgers do well and not tear an ACL week 1. And then we'll see what happens. We'll revisit definitely throughout the season. Obi, thank you as always. I appreciate your input when it comes to golf and football in this particular case. And Kyle, privilege as always. And hair, yes, and hair. Kyle, thanks as always. Appreciate you guys rock.